Hello and welcome to Sew with Christine. In today's tutorial, I'm going to be sharing with you how I achieved this bag using old jeans. So if you want to know how I was able to make this, then watch this tutorial to the end. Do not forget to subscribe, like and share. And to get notified whenever I post new tutorials, please turn your post notification bell on. So here's the jeans that I will be making use of for this tutorial. The first thing that I'm going to do is to remove the waistband. I'll go ahead and use my scissors to separate the waistband from the main pants. Afterwards, I'll go ahead and remove the seams. I'm just cutting through with my scissors. I'm going to be taking out all the seams so I can separate these pants into 4. After that, I'll go ahead and remove the pockets from these pants. Alright guys, we are done with removing the seams and pockets. Next, I'm going to place the back piece like so, and I'm going to measure 21 inches from the top part downward. Afterwards, I'll go ahead and cut this. Then I'm going to fold this like so that I can straighten out the edges of these jeans. All I'm doing now is just to straighten out all the edges. Once I'm done with the back piece, I'll do the same thing for the front piece. I'm going to place the 2 front pieces this way, and I'll measure 21 inches downward after I'm done straightening out the top parts. Then I'll rule a straight line on these 21 inches and I would cut this area off. I'll go ahead and fold this way. Then I'll use my ruler to draw straight lines to straighten out the sides of this fabric. So you can see the back piece and the front piece are ready. Next, we are going to do the same thing for the down part that we just cut off. If you are making use of a bigger size jeans, you might not really need to add this base. But since this pant is not that big, I have to include this base so that I'll be able to get the height that I want for this bag. So like I did for the upper part, I will do for this down piece. I will just straighten out all the edges because we are going to be joining this soon and we want all edges to be straight. Alright, I'm going to pick this like so, and I'm going to place them right side facing right side. I'll head over to my sewing machine and run my stitches onto this. And here we are, I'm done stitching this up. Next, I'm going to place both of them right side facing right side and run my stitches from one end to the other. Kindly note that we are working with the lower piece of this pant. And this is it, we are done with this. You can see what this looks like. So I'm going to fold this into 2 like so, and I'll bring one part of the upper piece and place this onto this. What I'm trying to do here is just to get the length. So I'm going to mark the length of this upper piece onto this lower one, and I will cut this off. Alright, so we have what we'll be using to extend the height. Next, I'm going to bring the front piece, that's the smaller parts. I'm going to bring that one in, and I'll place both of them this way. I'll lay this onto this, and I'm going to run my stitches, and I'll do the same thing for this one as well. And guys, here we are, I'm done stitching the front piece onto this. Next, I'm going to bring in the back piece of the pants, and I'll lay the back piece onto this edge, and I'll bring the other parts of the back piece and lay onto this side like so. Then I'm going to run my stitches on them, and this is what we have. I'm done stitching this up. Next, I'm just going to take the measurement so you can see what we have for the length and the breadth. I have this at 38 inches and I have this at 20.5 inches. Alright, next I'm gonna head to cut my gum stay of 38 by 20.5 inches, and I've also cut out my lining piece, and I will go ahead and iron my gum stay onto the jeans fabric. So I'm done ironing the gum stay onto this jeans fabric, and this is what it looks like. Next is for us to fix the zipper, and this is the zipper I would be using. So I'm going to place the zipper onto this like so, and I'll go ahead and pin this down. I'll take this to a sewing machine and sew onto this part. I'll also bring in the other end and I'll place it this way. So you want to ensure both parts of this fabric are well aligned when you are placing this on the zipper before you sew. Alright, I'm going to sew both of these, and this is what we have here. I'm done stitching this up. Next is for the pockets. I have the width of this at 6.25 and I have the length at 5.25. I have this at 6.25 by 2 inches. And this is the zipper. I'll place it this way. I will pin and place the other one over it. Then I will sew both sides. And here we are. I'm done stitching up the zipper onto this fabric. I'll go ahead and top stitch both sides, and this is it, guys. I'm done top stitching this. So to fix the small zipper to this, I'm going to measure downward 4.5 inches. After marking down 4.5 inches, I'll go ahead and rule a straight line like so. Then I'm going to mark the midpoint. To get the midpoint, just fold this into 2 and use your chalk to mark that part. Then, to fix the pocket, I'm going to be using this piece of fabric of 1.5 inches to knitting out these edges. I'm done sewing both of them, and this is what we have here. Next, I'll go ahead and trim off the excess seam allowance at the side. Then I'll fold this into 2 and mark the midpoint. Next, I'm going to place this onto this like so, and I'll fold the top part downward, making sure that both marks at the midpoint are sitting directly on each other like so. So I'll go ahead and fold in all the edges. As I'm folding, I'll be pinning them down. Afterwards, I'll head over to my sewing machine and sew onto this. Just sew the square shape like so. And this is it. I am done stitching up this pocket, and this is what we have here. So this is what the pocket looks like. Also, for the label, just get anyone from your jeans and sew that onto this bag. So for these straps, I have this. I think they call this weaving. I was able to get this at home. I can't even remember how I got this. But if you don't want to use this, you can also use your jeans fabric for the straps. And I have the measurements, that's the length of this, at 23.5 inches. So I'm going to measure downward from the pocket 1 inch. That's from the top part of the pocket. I'll come down by 1 inch and place these straps there. I'll fold the end of the strap and I'll place it on that 1 inch like so. I'll do the same thing for the other side of the strap. I'm going to sew this way. See the way my pen is going? That is how I'm going to sew on this strap. Then for the other side of this bag, I'm going to fold this into two to get the midpoint. Then I'm going to mark that part. From the top part, like we did, I'll come down by 4.5 inches. Then I'm going to rule a straight line over this marked point. I'll measure from the beginning of one strap to that of the other strap, and I'm going to mark that measurement here. I got 6.75 inches, so that is what I'm going to divide on both sides of this middle mark. Then from there, I'll go downward by 1 inch. And I'm just going to fix my strap onto that 1 inch mark. I'll do the same thing here. I'll fold the end of this strap, place it this way, and I will pin this down. So this is how you sew, like this, like a square box there. Just sew top, side, both sides, and the top and bottom. And this is it, guys. I'm done stitching this up, and you can see what this looks like. We are done with the fixing of the straps. Next, we are going to get the midpoint of this bag. So I'm going to fold this into two like this, and I'm going to mark the midpoints. After that, I'm going to close my zipper like so. Then I'll go ahead and place this way. That's the center of this zipper onto the mark that we just made on this bag. That's on the center of the bag. Once they're aligned, I'm going to pin that in place. I'll come to this side and I'm going to do the same thing. Let the center of the zip rest directly on the mark that we have there. Then I'll go ahead and pin this down. The next thing we are going to do now is to measure on this side 2.5 inches upward. 2.5 inches. Then I'll go inward by 3 inches. Once I'm done marking this, I'm going to use my straight ruler to connect this way. I'll go ahead and do the same thing on this side. I'm going to come upward by 2.5 inches. Then I'll go inward by 3 inches. After that, I'm going to connect the points together. So guys, these that I've done on this side, I'm going to repeat on the other two edges. Then I'll go ahead and cut all these marked areas out. So I'll take off my pins, open the zipper so you can see what we have here. And this is it. This is what we have here. Okay, I've also gone ahead to cut the same thing on the lining. So now we are going to be sewing the pockets onto the lining. To do that, I'll first of all get the midpoint of the lining by folding this into two like so. Then from the top part, I'll come downward by 5 inches. After that, I'm going to rule a straight line like so. I'm going to place the other end of this lining onto this so I can copy what I have just done on this one onto the second one. So I'll go ahead and use my chalk to highlight those areas. Next, I'm going to bring the pockets that we removed from the jeans pants and I'll place both of them onto this line this way. I'll go ahead and pin them down in place. Then for the other pockets, I have the measurement of these at 12.5 inches by 8 inches. Then this top part, I'm just going to fold this twice and run my stitches on it. And this is what we have here. Next, I'm going to fold this into two and mark the midpoints. After that, I'm going to place this midpoint onto the midpoint of the main lining. Then I will pin this down. I'm going to get the midpoint of the base as well and draw a straight line downward to that midpoint. After that, I'll fold the side inward and pin this in place. I'll also fold this side and pin that area down. So I'll go ahead and fold the bottom area once I'm done with the side. Alright, I'm done pinning. I'll go ahead and sew this way. I'll sew both sides and the bottom. I won't sew the top part. Then I'm going to sew the middle line. And here we are, guys. I'm done stitching this up. You can see what these pockets look like. Yeah, this really came out very nice. So we are going to be placing the lining onto this, and to do that you need to bring the straps inward. Place both straps inward, then place the lining right side facing right side onto the main jean fabric. After arranging this, I'm going to sew this lining onto the zipper area. Pin this down in place. After pinning, I'll head over to my sewing machine and run my stitches on both of the zippers. And here we are, guys. I'm done stitching these areas up. So I'll turn this now to the right side. Afterwards, I will head over again to my sewing machine and make a top stitch on this zipper area. Now this top stitch will help keep the lining in place. So this is it. I'm done top stitching this. Next, I'm going to close up my zipper and we are going to place this now. Let the center of the zipper rest on the center mark of these jeans that we made, and I'm going to pin this down. So I'll go ahead and pin these edges because we are going to be stitching this side close now. So this is how we are going to sew, just straight down. Then coming to this side, I'm going to move the zipper inward because you don't want your zipper to be outside when you sew. After that, I'll go ahead and pin all of these areas down. Then I'll head over to my sewing machine and run my stitches straight downward. This is it. I'm done stitching both sides up. Next, I'll go ahead and trim out the excess that we have there. After that, I'm going to bring this piece of fabric of 1.5 inch width. I'm going to place this way and use this to pipe the edges. And here we are. I am done piping both edges. This is what it looks like. So this is what you're going to use to knitting out the edges of the bag. I'll go ahead and bring this side this way. After arranging them, I'm going to pin them down. After pinning, I'll run my stitches from one end there to the other. Then I'll do the same thing for the remaining 3 parts. I'll first of all pin them down in place before I stitch them up. And once I'm done stitching up the 4 parts, I will use this 1.5 inches piece of fabric to pipe the 4 areas. And this is it. I am done stitching and piping, and this is what we have here. So I'm going to turn this to the right side so we can see what our bag looks like. So guys, this is actually my first time trying something like this, and I must tell you that I am really impressed at how this turned out. I am super wowed. I'm so amazed at how a pair of old jeans could be transformed into something as beautiful as this. For the first timer, I'm going to tell myself well done. Yes, and I want you guys to also drop a comment telling me well done in the comment section. And do not forget to hit the subscribe button, like this video, and share to friends and families. If you want to get notified whenever I post new tutorials on Sew with Christine, then turn your post notification bell on. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I'll see you in the next one.